Climate chaos, by the way, is also portals opening up between 2025 and 29. It's going to be more and more. And portals are opening up so that people who wish to leave can actually leave. Some innocent people will also go, but it's mostly people who've completed their purpose and they feel that they need to leave. So climate change is real. And it is also the beginning of a new generation. Hi, this is Dr. Manmeet Kumar. I'm a spiritual coach, a psychic, and a medium. I'm from India, and I started this journey formally around 9 years ago. And I help people across the world to further their spiritual journey and to heal from trauma, whether it's ancestral or entities or spirit related, and step into a newer version of themselves. So, as psychic mediums, we do receive a lot of information from the spirit world all the time. And how do we do that? We do that through all our five senses. So, some people are clairvoyant, means they can see. Some people are clairaudient, means they can hear, and so on and so forth. The most common psychic power that psychics use is clairvoyance and intuition, claircognizance, the art of knowing. They don't know how they know, but they know. So, this is the way the universe is always speaking to us. Psychics, what they do is they are able to differentiate the voice of the mind and the voice of the universe. So, for example, your mind is saying, I don't think I should take this road because it seems very crowded. Last time I went, it was very crowded. Versus your intuition saying, don't take that road, it's dangerous. Now, both the messages could be the same, but you would know what is a message from your mind and what is a message from your spirit guide or universe or intuition. Good psychics have mastered this art, and that's how they are able to differentiate and not get confused. But all the energies speak to a psychic, their senses are very heightened. For example, you can go into a room and immediately feel the hair on your at the back of your neck rise with either fear or awareness that there is something else inside this room apart from just human beings. Or you can suddenly have a shiver. And then immediately you come to know that why are you just having this involuntary shiver? So yes, psychics speak to the universe and vice versa through all the senses. Okay. Now we come to the topic of US. What am I seeing in the US in the next 1 to 3 years? Could we be on the brink of a collapse or a breakthrough? Well, we are on the brink of a breakthrough, but through a collapse. Now, what I see for the US is a restructuring at the financial level, restructuring at the societal level with the way things are run. The old system will collapse and the old system will come under question. People will not take things lightly. People are getting together for the greater unity of the country. US is going through a karmic cleanse. US is going through a time that is going to now show them how to live together as a for a purpose rather than for a system. So all their values are going to change. Values are going to be more human based. There's going to be the rise of soul entrepreneurs. There's the businesses that support the economy, the businesses that support the nature. So they are conscious businesses are going to be on the rise. People are not going to be so much in the corporate world. There'll be a lot of entrepreneurs doing their own work, and they would be doing work based on humanitarian values. So the way things have been happening, us against the nature, us against each other, greed dominating, that is going to go off. I do feel that 2025 to 2030 is going to be a very big shift, definitely in the US and in other countries as well, but US being so prominent, it's going to lead this change. Globally, we are going to be uh, we are going to collapse and then rise again. It's going to be like a phoenix rising from the ashes. If you see, many countries are already at war with each other, and many countries are not seeing eye to eye. So I do see from a global perspective the collapse of the economy in many countries. I see a rise of some countries that are going to be the new order of the world. US will not dominate the world after 2029. We are going to see other countries coming up in a big way, and there will be, basically three blocks that will be there. So one will be the, old guard, which is US, UK. One are going to be the emerging countries, and one is, of course, going to be the Middle East, coming to their own power. But amidst the new countries will be China, will be India, will be Russia. So this will be one block of things. And the other will be the karmic ones. So Israel, Iran, all of those countries will be on one end. So these three blocks will continue to rise together. There will be a rise of a global economy. Money will not be seen in the same way that it is seen now. Cryptocurrency and other, digital ways of money are going to be going up. So all the things that have been feudal, that have been conservative, that have been based on greed, that have been based on values that devalue humans, that's going to go down. And spiritual leadership will rise. So all the leaders that will come after 2029 are going to be people who are deeply conscious and connected to the spirit of the world. Absolutely, we are headed towards a world where technology and spirituality are merging. Science and spirituality have always been two sides of the coin. Whenever I work with cancer patients, I hold cancer workshops and I work closely with people who are in terminal illness. I tell them that switch from science to faith, switch. And they say, how? And I always tell them that science is an extension of what we know, but spirituality is who we are. So let's go deeper into who we are rather than what we know, because we will only know once who we know who we are. So connect to the spirit. But going forward, because of AI, now things are really merging fast in a place where, science and spirituality have already merged. So you will see that a lot of healing in hospitals also now is based on healing your emotional body, is based on a higher power called the universe, called God. Doctors advise people to pray now so that they can raise their vibration, and the medicine that you put inside of you actually starts working in a faster fashion. And we are now talking of spirituality in daily life rather than making spirituality esoteric and on the Himalayas. Now we say spirituality is a part of daily life because it's a better version of who we are right now. So, absolutely, I see these two things merging very quickly, and in many parts of the country, they've already merged. Extraterrestrials are definitely present on Earth, and are they going to be responsible for humanity's transition to a higher dimension? Definitely, they have a role to play. Would it be majority role that they will play? No. Majority role will be played by human beings, because it is only when humans decide that we need to go to a newer reality do they bring that shift within. So I firmly believe that the consciousness dimensions or realms are within ourselves. So the third dimension, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension is inside of us. Till we decide to ascend, like I said, we are not going to move to the new reality. And because now the earth has no patience, the people who are not willing to ascend, who are stubbornly holding on to the older systems, are going to go and, sort of move into another life when these portals open up. They will be the ones who pass over when the portals open up. This is an interesting thought. Secret societies controlling the world's governments or humanity totally in control. Secret society is also part of humanity. It is who we decided we are going to be following. It's a fact that secret societies are ruling governments. It is a fact. And if human beings want to not be a part of the darkness or the dark web, then they need to make light a really a big part of their lives. Forget the fights between two people, forget the ego clashes or the power struggles between people. They are really going to need to connect to each other and make a very strong army against these secret societies. Secret societies, by the way, are of two types. One is working for the light, one is working for the darkness. We all know which one is working for the darkness, so I'm not going to repeat it here. But if even if we cannot work with the light ones, let's become the light ourselves. Financial crash or a global currency shift is definitely coming soon in the next 4 years. We will hit it. Energetically and practically, what can we do? Energetically, I think our privacy will be compromised to a large extent if we move to digital currency. And we'll have far more freedom with cryptocurrency, but far more risks as well. So, if you are not a risk taker, then I do suggest that you start preparing by reading books, by understanding how the system is going to work, because this is the future of financially where we are headed. Will there be a financial crash in bits and pieces? Yes, but not in the way that at a mass level things are just going to collapse. No, but things are going to shift. And so if someone is scared of change, it's going to be difficult. Cash may entirely be wiped out going forward. A lot of currencies are going to be in barters, and a lot of work is going to be done related to spiritual societies. So, spiritual societies will come up with their own currencies, where if you want to sort of belong there, you have to abide by their currencies. So, currency was always very controlled in our times, and it still is. But that's going to change. So, if people want to uh, move away from traditional way of doing business, they have to prepare for the new way of that the world will be run. Oh, yes, climate chaos is an absolute reality, and climate chaos is something that is absolutely happening. It is because we have totally misaligned with Mother Earth's energies, and we have thought of her as something passive that's there. We can do anything, we can have consumerism, and she's not going to retaliate. But that's not the case. She has now decided to retaliate in a big way. Climate chaos, by the way, is also portals opening up between 2025 and 29. It's going to be more and more. And portals are opening up so that people who wish to leave can actually leave. Some innocent people will also go, but it's mostly people who've completed their purpose and they feel that they need to leave. So climate change is real. And it is also the beginning of a new generation. So we all know that from 2025, the beta generation is being born, and these are extremely environment conscious children. So they are angels who have come here to help the earth, and even the alpha generation before them are conscious about uh, the nature. So whenever we feel that climate change is happening, it's happening for the people who have really misused the natural resources. And what you and I can do at a basic level is always ask ourselves, am I taking more than I'm giving back? So whether it's just planting a tree, putting a fish back in water, or working with lesser carbon footprints, talking about, carpools, saying no to air pollution, and many, many other things. I think we need to start working with the deities, elemental deities like, water, fire, ocean, earth, sky, akasha. These are the deities that we all need to pray to. I do feel that the natural disaster, I do feel that there's going to be a tsunami. I also feel that there's going to be a fire. Fires have been breaking out since January. You all know that. We've heard of the LA fires, and there's so much in India and other countries, there have been plane crashes. There will still be more plane crashes. There will be fires, and there is a fair chance of a tsunami. We've heard of volcanoes erupting. So everything related to fire and one incident related to water. That is on the cards. Yes, there's a rising talk about World War III and the geopolitical realignments. A major global conflict already exists. And yes, it's a part of the divine reset. I deeply feel that there will be a war. It will not be like a World War I and a World War II, but it's going to be a war based on values, based on AI, based on bio, based on other value systems. So if you see, countries are not really now fighting about anything else but the basic difference in the value system. So I don't think wars will happen with weapons. I think the new weapons are going to be bio weapons. They are going to be AI based weapons. They are going to be based on how people perceive the world. And instead of, so in the beginning, the countries will go at war with each other. Then other countries will join those countries, and basically it'll become like a three-party thing. But basically, what's going to go off is the people who don't want to change. Those are the people who will be eradicated between 2025 and 2030. There will be mass portals that open up. So, like COVID was one such portal. If there's another wave two of COVID, for example, or there would be fires or earthquakes or natural calamities, the people who do not want to change, who desperately want that the earlier world order should exist, are going to be the ones that the earth is not going to carry with her to the next phase of the earth's alignment. From a psychic's perspective, the earth is undergoing a huge shift in consciousness to the fifth dimension. And because it's going to the fifth dimension, people who are not okay with change, people who don't want the earlier systems to die, are not going to make it. So between Iran and Israel, uh, between India and Pakistan, okay, let's talk about Iran and Israel. Do I foresee the end of the conflict happening by 2025? No. I feel that in 2026 and 2027, there's going to be even more of an escalation of these things. Even if there's a temporary rest, there will be an escalation. And finally, when enough lives are lost and people are not able to take it anymore, with external intervention, these countries are going to be at rest. Between India and Pakistan, I don't think that there's going to be war. I do feel that the countries understand. There will be tension on the borders for sure, that is forecasted till 2027. But for the countries that are already at war, I foresee that they will have an exhaustion of human beings, an exhaustion of we've had enough. And there will be an intervention by other countries, and these countries will also finally reluctantly decide to part, or pause, let's say, the thing. From a psychic's perspective, I definitely want to add that instead of countries fighting, I see that this is a fightness between darkness and light. And the more I want the light to win, the more I see that the darkness is moving very fast. It's moving swiftly. It's affecting the minds of people, including artificial intelligence, that is now making people not talk to each other. We all want to say, oh, let's use this tool and ask AI what it says, what's the best strategy. So human connection is being lost. I think that is the real war. Emotions, you feed AI with your emotions, with your thoughts, it's going to become far more powerful than you. So I feel that the war is between light and darkness. So while I feel darkness is rising very swiftly, I have absolutely no doubt that the light is somewhere fighting back equally. It's just that we don't see it very openly. So, to conclude on war, I would say let's look at the darkness first. Let's not look at countries. Let's see what values we need to leave behind as we are moving with the new earth. With so much of division in America, unity is definitely possible. So, for the soul of this nation, I feel that Americans are going to unite again. through adversity. It's not going to happen in a very goody-goody way. People are going to come together through adversity, but they will definitely unite. And they will remember that it's the purpose that matters more than greed or dominance. So it's not going to be any more the skin color that is going to be what's partial. What is going to be true is that people will lead and rise from a soul centered leadership. It will definitely unite, maybe not right now, but after 2028. But things are going to get worse before they get better, but they will get better in a very big way. Such a beautiful word, no? Spiritual enslavement. Spiritual enslavement is when we just follow things blindly, when we believe that religion beats spirituality, which should never be the case. Religion is a way to go to spirituality, whether it's going to, any divine place like the church or the temple, or it is about reciting mantras or remembering God or performing rituals. We should always and always remember that the universe, the universal energy, is far, far bigger than any religious practice across the world. Spiritual enslavement has become the name of the game where we all want God to come and rescue us. Oh my God, there is so much of terrorism. God, please, I'm going to light so many candles. Please come and save my family. That's not going to happen. What is going to happen is that people will be spiritually aware and they will be empowered. So it's spiritual awareness and empowerment that is going to take dominance. What is the first step? The first step is awareness. I can be spiritually independent. I can be minus of drama. I can make a difference in my own family. So I think the first step will be spiritual awareness in our own family, where at the family unit we start healing our emotions, creating bonds, just like earlier times. The family makes a society, the society makes a country, and a country makes the world. So that is the basic level of work that you and I have to do, where we connect with our own emotional bodies all over again. And we decide that we are not going to be slaves to the darkness or any such religious practices that discriminate man from man. That is not going to work. Remember the COVID times. What worked? What worked was that we all looked at each other, irrespective of their color or country. We said, oh my God, it's a human life lost. So we have to treat each other as human beings before we treat each other as citizens of a particular country or people who follow different religions or any of that. So the first step will always and always be awareness, connecting to the universe. And some of the tools, the easy tools are meditation, sitting in silence, meditation, calling your higher self, calling your spirit guides, and becoming really a powerful version of ourselves. I think that's going to help. Is it true that there are still some people who would give their power to religious control? Yes. These people are controlled actually by darkness. And these people feel that if they are a part of a cult, of an organization, they will be protected no matter what. And I call it handing your souls over to the darkness. And people have done that in the past. People can do that today. And it is very much a reality. Is it good or bad? Not for me to say, because it's something that we say it's a free choice. Anyone can do anything with their soul and with their power. But yes, people are still entrenched into blind faith and they are easily swayed by these organizations that are led by darkness. My final message to the people watching this is that each one of us has choice or free will. With your choice, you can either create an earth ready with light for your future generations, or you can just think of a short term gain right now and not leave any legacy behind. The choice is ours. And the only choice that will take us all towards light is ascending with light and becoming aware of who we are as humans and trying to shift to being better humans. That's how the earth will shift. That's how we will shift towards light. Thank you so much.